Okay, here's what I got going on. I have the pot sitting here with wax in it, and I got it. I only have the wax to a depth of 2.5 inches deep. I went to my favorite store, Menards, and I bought just a little glass measuring tumbler or whatever you want to call it, and the coil will fit nicely in that. And this is the wax that I have in the pot is old candles and stuff. I was going to use that at first, and then I thought, you know, with all the time I spent on winding that, I didn't want to use wax that I wasn't sure what the conductivity would be, and so I went and bought some fresh wax. And what I'm going to do is I have the candle wax in the pot. I'm going to put the fresh wax in the glass with the coil inside there, and the wax on the outside will hold the temperature for the inside for me. So I'm just going to set, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this glass down in there carefully. Just barely, wants to almost float. And I'll put the coil in there after I put wax in, or I'll put the coil in there when I get some wax pre-melted. Right now it's been sitting there for quite some time, and it's running at 83 degrees Celsius, and that will be, I don't know it off the top of my head, so 83 degrees Celsius times 1.8 plus 32, that's 181 degrees, which that'll be fine for what I want if I can pull the vacuum and hold it. So I'll be back. I'm going to go take, I've got a thermometer here, a Fahrenheit thermometer, but I'm not even, I was going to put that in the jar with the coil or the little tumbler to keep an eye on the temperature, but I don't think I'm going to even use it. But I'm going to go ahead and take this little metal cup, measuring cup, and I'm going to melt me up a cup and dump it into the little tumbler in there with the coil. I'll be back. Okay, I've got some wax in the tin cup, preheated to about 185 degrees. I am going to take the coil, my little gem. Oh shoot, I was going to put the laminations in first. Do I want to do this first before I put the laminations in? Probably not. Well, I'm gonna have to stop here, and I'll end up reheating this. But yeah, I want to get the laminations in. I did cut laminations for it. Got them right here. They'll fit in there. I need 250 thousandths worth, but they're not cut to length yet. I need to cut them to length. And I want them a 1/2 inch longer than the coils. Well, I need to drop back and do that. So, and laminations are kind of a bugger to cutting too. So, what you have to do is it's just about like when I'm cutting wood. Never cut with it, going out of the. So you're always climb cutting. You don't go clear across. You can go about half the width, climb cut, and then half the width, climb cut. So you're pushing against each other so that they don't bend them. They bend pretty easy, because it's just sheet 20 thousandths pieces of sheet metal is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I want to cut these to the right length, and I'll probably just use a tin snip them, and then put them all together and just grind them flush, and then and then put them in place. So I'll come back when I'm ready to put them in, or when I get them in and get that reheated again. I'll have to reheat it because it'll, unless I'm quick here, but I'm usually not that quick. So, but yeah, I got to cut the laminations to length. I'll be back. Okay, I got the laminations put in place. So I'm going to drop this coil down into the glass. I'd like it to stay in the middle if it would. And hot wax. Oh, that cup is just perfect for filling it right to the brim. I see air bubbles already coming out. We're at 97. So now try to suck a vacuum on that. I got to get the wires so that they don't interfere with the vacuum seal. I should have tied them up into a loop or something. That'll work. Now, I need a little bit of persuasion, a little weight on there. I'm going to turn this a little bit. I see air bubbles coming out already from the coil. Turn the valve shut so when I pump, it'll suck it down right away. I want to shoot for at least 15. I gotta be careful so I don't spill hot wax all over. Yeah, she's bubbling. The coil is definitely bubbling. We're at just about 20. All right. Okay, let's see if I can zoom you in here. You can kind of see that the coil is definitely bubbling away. I want to figure out it was at 97, 96. It would bounce between 96 and 97. 96 times 0.8 plus 30. That's 204 degrees, so we don't want it any hotter than that. I'll turn this off. Yeah, it's definitely fizzing away. Cool. 5 minutes, they say. I was saying 2 minutes yesterday, but it's actually 5 minutes of vacuum, then release it, and then 2 more minutes of vacuum after that, then take it out. Okay, I'm going to go get my, well, I can just take it out with the pliers carefully. I think I will give it another shot of pumping here to try to bring it back up to the I'm glad I did that. It's sucking a lot more air out of the coil. just a waiting process. I actually could take it out now, but since I did that and it's kind of boiling away and sucking air out of there, I think I'm just going to wait a little bit more. Because too, it'll take a while for that center one to come up to temperature, and the 5 minutes is supposed to be from when that comes up to temperature. Alright, I'm going to release it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that temperature probe in that glass before I do the second pumping. Before I do the second one, I'm going to check the temperature. I want to see what this temperature is in here, in this wax inside the glass. I want at least 180. Let's see, at 20 it would have been 150, 145, 150 I think. 180 would be ideal. We're at 170, still climbing. Still climbing, it's getting close to 180. $179. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're definitely within the ballpark. So, try this again. Actually, it doesn't work too bad, other than I should have a longer hose than that pump. So I could put it on the floor to make it a hell of a lot easier to pump it. Because I just cut the end of the hose off that was originally on it. You know, I didn't put a new hose or anything on it. It don't work too bad if I put it against the edge. Oh. Close the valve. It works better. We darn near pulled 25, 23. And it's definitely boiling now. I'm wondering if I shouldn't do it a third time, even though the book just says twice. Like I say, I don't think that you can overdo this part of it. If you stop to think about it, every bit of air that you can get out of there, the better the coil should be as far as flash over. I think I might do it a third time too. Just call me being overcautious. I want to succeed at this first one. I'm gonna get a flashlight, see if that will help me see in there a little better. It can shine a light down in there. Yeah, there's still actually bubbles coming out of the coil. Right out of where the high tension wire goes in. There's little tiny bubbles here and there coming out. So that's wax going in. I have to practice on the, if I do another one, I don't put so much wax in between on the wax paper, because I ran out of room on this coil. Because I'm thinking about doing another one, but I want to do one for 2.8 volt, or no, 4.8, yeah, 4.5 or 4.8 volt. Which means that the primary windings, there'll be less primary windings, but the same amount of, I believe it's the same amount of secondary though. It just lowers the, or it, yeah, it lowers the resistance on the primary down from the 3.5, lower it down to under 2. Just as I was going to say, I don't see any more bubbles. A pretty good size one come up. So I think I'm going to give it one more shock, one more release, and then pump up. I haven't even watched the clock. But you can see how much it sucked in that coil, because the jar was, the wax level in that little jar tumbler or whatever measuring was right level with the top, and now it is a little bit below, so it sucked that much in. And the plexiglass, it's fine. I was worried that it'd get too warm, and I was worried over nothing. Alright, I'm going to release it, and I'm going to do it one more time. Plexiglass is barely warm on top anyway. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to zoom in on the coil so you can see if there's any bubbles, and I can look back at this video and see. Looking right at the red wire there, at the high tension wire. I'm going to put this on top. Still see the wire? Yep. That's where the bubbles will be coming out, if any more come out. Hook up the hose. And then pump like a madman. Alright, here we go. Oof, 23. 23 is the best I could do. Unless I put it on the floor. Oh yeah, I can see that there's bubbles. I wouldn't even need the camera to show me that. Oof. I don't know how many times they do them when the people that actually build them and sell them, but I did it 3 times. So. And that's it. I'll let it sit there a while now. I just had visions of me dropping it, so that's why I grip my canning jar. It's got rubber tips that should grip that pretty good. Just pick it up and set it down. So we'll release this. Before I do another one though, I'm going to redo that valve. Alright. Little gem in the shot glass. I think this is actually going to work pretty good if I do more coils. Once I get the setup going, you know, cover that up. I'll just lay this on top. I don't want my garage cat coming over here sipping out of it, trying to sip out of it. Instead of foot value. Well, it's going to be a while for that to cool down, so you know where I'm at, where I'm standing at as far as that. I'm going to let it cool. When it starts to get a white color to it, I'm going to take it out and then kind of wipe off the excess and probably put it back in the bag and let it cool down. And then after it's cooled down, then sometime tomorrow, I'll clear off this stuff and set it up, and we'll take and hook up one of my driver boards here for driving coils, and see if we can get it to work on 6 volts. It's actually 12, but we're going to try it at 6. That's another one of the reasons why I want to make another one that I want one that will run on a lower voltage battery, so I don't have to have otherwise I got to get either a rechargeable 12 volt. Well, that's what I've got in my V8s. I guess I could make a plug-in to plug into their batteries. There's one in each one of my V8s, so. But I have to remember now that was running on a little bit on the low. It would have been nice to have a little bit higher temperature. So, and I was running this at about 85 to 90. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna turn it up on high and get it a little hotter next time. If there's a next time. So, yep, it's just about supper time. I don't know how long this is going to take to cool. I actually think I'm going to get a pie tin and take it in the house where I can keep an eye on it. I don't trust my friend in the garage. That's a little warm. I don't think I could get there. I was really afraid to leave my coil winder set up over there and not finish with that really thin wire, because I was coming up on the end of the wraps, you know, like 9,000 or 10,000 wraps, and it was starting to get, you know, late in the afternoon, and I go, I gotta finish it, because I know that my garage cat up on that bench checking it out and I had visions of him breaking that wire and me having to start all over again. So I finished, and I left it set up though. I left the coil in the winder and the wire and everything. Yeah, he was up there, but the wire wasn't broke, but he apparently got it around his foot or whatever, and he stretched it out across the bench. So, darn cat. Yeah, he's all right. He keeps the mice out of here, and he's annoying sometimes when you don't get fed. But yeah, he does climb up on a lot of stuff. So, well, I better quit jabbering, and I'm gonna go and get that taken in and put in a pie tin and on the counter, and then go have supper. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, and I'll probably start a new video on just testing it. So and we'll have a testing video. So, and we'll see how it works. See if it works. Not how it works, if it works. If it works, and then how it works. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.